Distinguished participants, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to be here with you today and welcome you on behalf of the ECA in Addis Ababa, city of 13 months sunshine, and also house to Lucy, 3.5 million old skeleton. Our meeting this week stems from an ongoing work mandated by the ECA, Conference of African Ministers of Finance and Economic Planning, that actually took place in Malawi in 2010. At that time, Africa was at a very good place. It was coined continent that is rising, and it was experiences its highest growth in its recent history, and also recovering and enduring very well global financial crisis. But already at that time, it was recognized that Africa has enormous financing needs, and ECA was tasked to contribute to solutions how to close the gap. So we took that challenge very seriously and organized ourselves around several working streams. Key among them to start with were illicit financial flows, and ECA has carried out some pioneering work. At that time, we estimated in 2015 prices that illicit financial flows annually amount to at least $50 billion US. So when you think that World Bank today is aiming for $100 billion replenishment, you can put this in perspective how huge these resources are. So we were looking what are some of the main contributors to this large amount of illicit financial flows and how to address them. So findings were a few folds. First of all, and of course, the public financial management system in Africa, but not alone. It takes two to tango. So also global governance incentives that actually lead to these flows and that are accepted on the other side. And unless those are addressed in parallel, the problem will persist. Since we are a think tank, in addition to our practice function, we have launched at that time economic governance report, the first one, which was dedicated to this topic of illicit financial flows. The other area of our work focuses, as was also mentioned by the director, on the area of domestic resource mobilization, which is critical, as mentioned now by the director of the World Bank. So yes, the tax ratio, again, of Africa is indeed relatively low, but one of the contributing reasons, we think, is also the profit shifting. So African countries will not be able, to raise their revenues to the levels that advanced economies have unless this practice is addressed. So UN has pioneered International Tax Cooperation Convention, which is now being discussed, and it's basically guiding our work in this area. The other, and again, we have a knowledge product. The second economic governance report is addressing significant tax incentives, which are meant to attract foreign direct investment. But we know that often these incentives are not the main factor that is driving quality in investment. Investors know very well they can be basically taken away at any point. If we look just at the example of Zambia, for example, the losses from these direct losses from these tax incentives are enormous. But in addition, they actually cause major uncertainty because the regime keeps shifting kept shifting on almost annual basis. So it actually discourages foreign direct investment. So another area that we are working on, and this is a key challenge for Africa, is the very high level of public debt that the continent is facing, accompanied by unprecedented borrowing costs. And we all understand to some extent these high costs are also linked to very low credit ratings that the African countries are receiving from the three major credit rating agencies. Currently, more than 20 African countries are being rated by these agencies, but only two, Botswana and Mauritius, are in investment grade. If we look, for example, 10 years ago, there were four. There was also Namibia and South Africa. They both slipped into sub-investment grade. And even Botswana, which has the highest rating, similar to some actually emerging European countries, has been downgraded recently recently, and Mauritius is just hanging there one level above the sub-investment grade. So this is a major challenge. We recognize it, and we work with African Union on establishing African Credit Rating Agency. The idea here is to put a different perspective, bring new views, and also bring a little bit of competition, and also strengthen capacity of African policymakers to deal with this important aspect of development and financial market development in particular. We are also recognizing the importance of planning in all this what we are doing. So actually we have in ECA developed integrating planning development tool that we are sharing with our countries that focuses on a real side of development. But importantly, we also have integrating national financial framework, which is the financial side of the development process. And we plan to continue and also include challenges of climate change and digitalization into this framework. So with outlining these key areas, I would also like to thank World Bank for inviting us to this initiative. We are very happy to join and look forward to collaboration going forward, and also to our partners, of course, but especially then to our team led by my colleague Jamal, who made this idea happen in a very efficient way. And thank you very much, and I wish you all a very fruitful deliberation. And the idea really here, as was said by Rahul, is to come up with new and innovative solutions. We are having great opportunity with financing for development happening in 2025 in Sevilla, and all these ideas can still enter and be considered and become really truly impactful. So thank you very much.